We were approached by the U.S. to accept third-party nationals who were being removed from the U.S. And we agreed with them that West African nationals, were acceptable because all our fellow West Africans don't need a visa to come to our country. So if they decided to travel from U.S. to Accra, they don't need a visa anyway. So if you're bringing our colleague West Africans back, that's okay. And so I think that agreement has been activated, and a first batch of 14 nationals came. West Africa has the protocol of free movement, and so any West African is free to come to Ghana and be able to stay for 90 days. And so if they decide to bring them, we don't have a problem accepting them.
Imagine being deported from the United States only to land in your own continent and find yourself behind bars, not for a crime, not for trial, but simply because you came home. That is the shocking reality for some African US deportees who took Ghana government to court. Their claim that Ghana illegally detained them. So why is this lawsuit shaking Ghana's legal system? And what does it reveal about secret agreements between Ghana and the United States? Stay with me, because this story isn't just about deportation. It is about human rights, sovereignty, and the fight for dignity. This is First Africa Voice, where we tell Africa stories raw, real, and without filters. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. My name is Paul Lingua. Now, let's delve into the story and break it down together. According to court filings, 11 deportees from the United States have sued Ghana's government, claiming they were unlawfully detained. The 11 people say they were detained in Ghana after being deported from the US. The group were first held in a US detention facility before being shackled and deported in a military cargo aircraft, according to papers filed in court. The deportations are part of the US government's hardline approach towards immigration since President Donald Trump took office in January. He has vowed to conduct record-level deportations of migrants in the country illegally. Unfortunately, these 11 African nationals were caught up in the web. They include 4 Nigerians, 1 Liberian, 2 Togolese, 1 Gambian, and 2 Malians. They have sued the Attorney General, the Chief of Defense Staff, and the Comptroller General of the Ghana Immigration Service, insisting their confinement breaches the 1992 Constitution. However, 5 of the detainees, 3 Nigerians and 2 Gambians, have also sued the US government, arguing that they were protected by a court order and should not have been deported. The 11 detainees' lawyer, Oliver Bakavomaho, said the deportees had not violated any Ghanaian law and their detention in a military camp was therefore illegal. The lawyer added that he wanted Ghana government to produce the group in court and justify why they were being held against their will. Last week, Ghana's President John Dramani Mahama said that 14 deportees of West African origin had arrived in the country following an agreement reached with the US. He later said that all of them had been returned to their countries of origin.
All our fellow West Africans don't need a visa to come to our country. So if they decided to travel from US to Accra, they don't need a visa anyway. So if you're bringing our colleague West Africans back, that's okay. And so I think that agreement has been activated, and a first batch of 14 nationals came. Several of them were our Nigerian brothers. They opted to go back home. And so we put them on buses, to be able to go back home. One of them was a Gambian who it's not as easy. You have to get him an air ticket to be able to facilitate his travel. So what we've done is contacted their embassy to let them know of his presence so that they can facilitate his return to Gambia. So that's the issue with regards to deportations and arrivals. West Africa has the protocol of free movement, and so any West African is free to come to Ghana and be able to stay for 90 days. And so if they decide to bring them, I mean, we don't have a problem accepting them.
But wait, something shocking emerges. The foreign minister, Sam Okudzeto-Ablakwa, contradicted President John Dramani Mahama by saying that only most of them had been returned. Mr. Vomaho's court applications contradict both of them, saying that 11 deportees are still in detention in Ghana. This is getting interesting, that those entrusted to govern do not even know the happiness in the country. Now, let's look at this important thing: sovereignty at stake, because here is the truth. If deportees are being detained at the request of a foreign government, what does it say about Ghana's sovereignty? Are we protecting our borders or policing our own people for someone else? Let's look at the human side of the story. Behind the headlines are 11 real people. Some have spent decades in America, others left children, families, and jobs behind. Now, they are fighting not just for freedom, but for recognition, the right to live their own continent without being treated as strangers or criminals. And make no mistake, this lawsuit could set a model. If these 11 win, it could open the floodgate for other deportees across Africa to challenge governments that cooperate with US deportation policies. It could change how deportations itself is handled on the continent. So here comes the bigger picture. This is not just about 11 people. It is about Ghana's reputation as a democracy. It is about whether we value citizenship or whether power and foreign pressure can silence the right of ordinary people. If Ghana loses this case, it will be a loud message that the Constitution cannot be bent, not even for America. What do you think? Should Ghana detain deportees for security checks, or is it an abuse of power that must stop? Drop your comments below. Let's get Africa talking. This is First Africa Voice, telling Africa stories with bold truth. Well, the dew of the day has crept upon our thoughts, and nature must obey its necessity. Here is where we bring down the curtains. Until we meet again, my name is Paul Lingua, the Africa Orator.